Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It's Titus here with my co-host Travis.
Hello, hello.
And I got Talon here today.
What's up, everybody?
Back from the backwoods.
My son.
I am back.
The prodigal has returned home.
Yeah, finally.
He's been in the woods for what, 2 months now?
And he smells like it.
Oh, I know. I don't smell that bad, do I?
From Alaska to Wyoming.
Yep.
How many pounds have you lost too?
10 pounds in the past 2 months, but they feed you good up there, so thank goodness.
Yeah, you probably lost more, huh?
I would have lost a lot more, yeah.
Did you just like breakfast and dinner?
Courtney actually made breakfast, lunch, and dinner for all of us.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. She
just packed a lunch?
Just packed a lunch. She had it set out like buffet style, and then just grabbed whatever you like.
Oh, sweet.
So, yep.
So you can take as much as you want.
Oh, you could take... I took about...
You ate like a king then,
oh,
probably.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say I took about 300 pieces of candy. Yeah, about...
It's not food, Talon.
I know. And then she made these nice spaghetti wraps that filled you up good. So when you're hungry, yeah,
Dude,
yeah, she feeds you
that
good.
don't sound too rough.
No,
When I'm thinking of hunting, I'm thinking of stinking. What's that in the package? The dry food.
Oh, the Mountain House.
Yeah, mountain. Did you eat some of those too?
Oh, in Alaska we ate tons and tons and tons of those. So I will.
You sick of those?
I'm sick of those.
Okay.
Yeah, and Cliff Bars.
Top Roman.
Ugh, Cliff Bars.
Yeah.
Yuck.
I like Cliff Bars, man.
Not if you're eating them every day.
Not every day.
No.
Nope. You're having about,
and you need something to wash them down.
yeah, you're having about 3 or 4 a day. You
and you got to drink a quart of water just to get those things down. But no, but before we get started, guys, it's good to have Talon back. He's like my son almost, my old son when I was too young to have kids. But anyways, just real quick, we want to give a shout out to our partners over at Eukanuba. Guys, check them out with the dog food, great dog food. Eukanuba 3020, that's what I feed Rocky. It's got chondroitin and glucosamine in it, which is a big deal to me. And it's got really high protein and then the fats to help them give the energy through the dog season. Check it out, guys, Eukanuba. Old Town, great. I love their kayaks slash canoe. It's basically like a hybrid. Old Town is a big partner of this channel this year, and we really appreciate everything they're doing. Go check them out online, and you'll find them there, and you also see them in a lot of our videos, too, if you want to see the quality made. All right, also, and my mind is drawing a blank right now. Motion Ducks, guys. Check Motion Ducks out. It's a jerk rig slash spreader system. And you've never seen nothing that will draw the birds in like this setup. I'm telling you, we've used it for 2 years. MotionDucks.com. Check them out. Put in the code MVM and you'll get 10% off. Oh, last but not least is HTR Innovations. If you guys seen it, they got the quack packs. They got a lot of other things, but the quack packs are like a layout. If you put the code MVM, go to their website, put the code MVM in, and you will get 10% off on their gear. So we appreciate them helping us out too. All right, let's get in the show. Today, we are going to talk about decoys. Decoys. Actually looking at one right now that's been hand-carved special for the banquet that we're having. If you guys don't know, here in Merced, we are having a Delta Waterfowl banquets for the Grasslands chapter. And all of the guys on the MVM and Midvalleymercenaries will be there. Big part of it on the committee. And we'd like to meet you guys. If you want to come out to that, you can still buy tickets and raffle packages. But right in front of me here, we got a cinnamon tail hand-carved by Jim Pierce all the way from Maryland.
Yeah. And this guy, before we started this podcast, he's like, well, what am I going to do with this? Set it on my shelf? Because I'm going to float it. I'm like,
I want to use it.
You've lost it.
Why? Why can't I use it?
It's custom hand-carved, nice
I
little
know, but
cinnamon decoy, and you want to take it out there and you want to float it around. Are you going to carry it in its own special bag?
Yeah. I'd put it like in some type of little knapsack that protects it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it'd be kind of cool. Especially to see it on a video. I think that'd be really cool.
That's what I'm saying. Just to put it on a video and try it one time, just to be in the spread.
Yeah.
But it's got the ring on the bottom. You can tie your weight to it and let it.
I don't know.
I might not. I probably won't do that, but it'd be kind of fun to try just to put it out there and say, hey, I hunted with that once.
Have you floated
back
it
in 30 years
yet?
from now? My grandkids are, I hunted with that one time.
Have you actually put it in water to see if it does?
No, I would try that out.
float?
I think I would try that in the bathtub first. Make sure.
Can you imagine carrying though? I mean, like
a bunch of those, a couple dozen.
yeah, that thing.
How much do you think that weighs? 2 pounds?
2?
A pound and a half? 2 pounds?
Maybe.
We haven't held fish in a very long time, Talon.
I know it's been a while.
It's hard to guess weight
You
anymore.
gotta lip this thing, right?
But anyways, yeah, we're looking at that in front of us, and we got that Delta Waterfowl banquet going on. It's gonna be pretty awesome. A lot of people buying in last minute, and it's actually gonna turn out pretty good. So we're pretty pumped for it. But we want to talk about today. We actually had a guest that was coming on, but we'll keep that under wraps. Older gentleman, and he had some things come up that he had to take care of. His wife wasn't able to be here tonight. Someone I think you guys will really enjoy listening to. I'm really excited. I've known him my whole life, but that's just not going to work out too. So we'll go ahead and we're going to talk about something we've had on the back burner, waiting for a time like this, and that is decoys. Everything about it. So let's just start off with the amount of decoys. What if you were a new hunter, Travis or Talon? What do you think is necessary? There's a lot of people that think you got to have I hear people on some podcasts talking about using 4 and 5 dozen decoys. I don't think even you've ever used that many decoys, have you?
I'd say
I
at
think
one
the
time.
most,
Yeah.
what, 40?
I think we ran 60 something one time.
We did?
Yeah.
When we were
There was
hunting on
about-
that one big pond?
That big pond, I think there was about 4 of us guys that all had decoys, and we threw every single one out.
Oh, maybe. I mean, that's a rare instance, but I mean, what's the most that, you know what I'm saying, when you were younger and it was just you and I and
Well,
Poppy?
years
30 something, maybe?
I'd say so, about 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun lugging them things around on my back.
Yeah. And then we upgraded to a cart, which is a lifesaver.
Dude, you went a long time
Yeah.
without a cart.
But you know what? I think starting out, I look at it from a couple of different points of view. If you're starting out, usually, I mean, maybe you're good at calling, maybe you're not. So I think that sometimes decoys can make up for the inability
or calling can make up for decoys. You're saying? Or decoys.
Yeah, I think vice versa. You know, I
Yeah,
think it works
true.
kind of vice
Yeah.
versa. If you're new and you're not that great of a caller, I'd say, you know, invest in decoys until you get good at duck calling, because as we both know, if you can't call, that could flare a lot of birds. You know what I'm saying? Where a lot of times when they see something, and we'll talk about this later, motion, you know, the more the merrier. You know what I'm saying? If it looks like a party, it must be a party, you know?
Right. Well, what do
So
you
I kinda
see
get like
birds
that.
draw to every time? Big, huge rafts
big
of
rafts
coots.
of coots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are big rafts. I mean,
Yeah. And there's a lot of movement. Coots move
oh.
constantly.
Well, and that was, where was I seeing that on? Someone was talking, well, I think it was probably, Dave, or not Dave, what's his name from the motion decks? My mind just went blank. But Ben, he was saying that if you're gonna have that many decoys, you gotta have movement too, especially if it's calm.
yes.
I mean, if there's wind, it's fine. But look at what good does it do you to have 60 decoys out and still as the calm sea?
like glass. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It looks fake.
It's not. They know that they're not stupid.
Yeah.
Birds aren't stupid.
But I think it depends on where you're at as well. What situation you're hunting in. Big open water.
An unpressured place versus
Yeah.
pressured.
or, you know, large water open versus small water.
Yeah, but I'm saying even if it was large water, if it was wide open, you had 60 decoys and it's glass water. You think they're really going to come into that? I mean, never say never,
Yeah, you know,
but
I don't know. I think sometimes
for the majority, though, for the
big
most
water,
part,
I think, you know what I'm saying, more visual. That's the way I look at it. If I was hunting, you know, a really big
yeah,
pond,
yeah.
I'd want the visibility of a lot of decoys, I guess, versus
But let me ask you this:
5 or
do you think
6.
visibility amount of decoys is more powerful than movement?
no, I don't.
No,
So look at
movement stop. I'd
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
let's take 4 decoys with awesome movement, and let's take 50 decoys with 0 movement on glass water. What do you think's going to win?
The movement's the most critical aspect, I think, of duck hunting.
It trumps it, right?
Yeah, this guy's out here in your front yard picking up his dog waste. At least he did that. That was nice of him.
I give him the Phil Robertson thumbs up.
yeah.
Big old thumbs up.
There might still be a little turd out there sitting.
Hope you don't step in it. That'd be nasty.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah, no, I think that situation, you know, but if you're new, I would say
What can, as a new hunter, what can they start out with amount? Because we're talking about amount of decoys right now.
Yeah.
What would you be safe to start out with?
I like I said, you go back to what type of if you're hunting open water versus small pockets of water. What are you targeting? You know, if you're targeting mallards and you're hunting really tight areas, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 decoys maximum. You know, but then again, back to motion. You know, have some kind of a jerk system or something that creates motion in the water, I think can be deadly, especially on calm days.
Mm-hmm.
Wind, like you said, wind doesn't matter. If you got some chop on the water, the decoys are moving around, then that renders your there's your motion. You don't need motion then.
I think it all comes down to because look at everyone can afford different things.
True.
And what'd you start out with? You didn't start out with that many, or you borrowed?
No, my uncle actually took me duck hunting when I was 9, and he had quite a few decoys.
I borrowed yours for like 2 years, your decoys, and would go by myself.
And he had a bunch of old flambeaus.
Mm-hmm.
They were a mixture of pintails,
mallards, and
some mallards. I think that was about it, right?
Yeah, I think that's what.
Yeah, pintails and mallards. And we had those decoys till what?
Long time. Not.
Oh, he just ended up giving them to you, huh?
Well, he stopped hunting.
Yeah,
and then I kind of just
inherited them
permanently. Borrowed them permanently.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
That wasn't a big sacrifice giving you flambeaus.
But you know what though? We killed birds over them.
Right.
We killed birds over
exactly.
Yeah, but I don't think do we even have green wings or anything else at that time? I think we just
strictly pintails
and mallards.
mallard.
Yeah.
So it really comes down to you can work with what you got.
Yeah.
And you'll still be successful.
You can be.
So when we buy more decoys, buy more things like we do, it's because we have the means to do it, and it possibly could help you a little more. But it doesn't change the fact that without that, you still can kill birds.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's what people get caught up on is like, you can't, if you don't have 60 decoys, you ain't going to kill birds as much as I will. And I don't agree with that.
No.
Now, do I have 25, 30, 40 decoys? Yeah, probably somewhere in there. But I don't feel like I'm going to be any more successful than the guy that has 6.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm better than the guy that has 6.
And two, I was always the kind of person that the more the merrier, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also the person that would move. If birds were going someplace else, I would move there. So it took more time to pack up and move that over to that location.
Lots of time.
I would drive a lot of people crazy, But I guess that's just my style of hunting,
Yeah.
And everybody has their own unique style and things that they like to do. But yeah, and you know what's weird is that you change it up over time. You try different things. You try different species.
You're always testing.
You're always testing.
Yeah.
I guess that's what's cool about duck hunting. It's always you're always learning or trying to learn.
And the birds are learning too. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. You wonder how that really works. Biologically with.
We know though. Look at it. It's spinner
wings,
yeah.
splashers, flashers.
Yeah, but I'm saying if they're seeing spinner wings and every spinner wing they see from Canada, they get shot. Then they come down to Washington. They get shot at when they come into. By the time they get here, most of them have learned. Okay, I see one of those things. I'm going the other way.
Yeah,
they learn.
Let's try a teal. I've seen them sucking teal pretty decently.
I know, but I'm just saying you don't know if those teal have even ever been shot at over at a spinning wing.
Who knows?
I'm not down on spinning wing. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
birds do learn.
Yeah, they do.
Those geese learned
very quickly.
That's all I'm trying to say is birds learn too.
Yes.
That's why we're always adapting, Okay. Anything else to add, Talon, to amount of decoys?
No, I'd say a good amount to start off with, though, is always grab a pack of mallards and then pintails. So I think when because I just bought my first decoys last year, I bought 6 mallards, 6 teal, and another dozen decoys. I'd say 20 is about a good number to start off with. That's personally me, I'd say.
Some in 6s and 12s though, so we gotta.
Well, you can always kick some out too. So
yeah.
But 2 dozen work awesome, I'd say.
Yeah. So and you can really get that for a fair price.
So if you were gonna just buy, say 2 dozen, what would you say would be a good mix
for here?
For the Central Flyaway.
No,
I mean the Central California Pacific Flyaway.
Yeah,
I'd say mallards, green wings, for sure. Green wings.
You got to give us ratios here.
What do you mean?
So would you say like 6 mallards?
All right, I'd say
12 green wings and 4 pintails or 6 pintails, whatever.
I'd say 6 mallards, 6 pintails, and 12 green wings.
Yeah,
that's what I'd do.
I think I'm gonna agree with you on that one.
That's what I'd roll with.
If I was starting out, I think I would probably go with.
Or if you want to have fun, you could just go all green wings and then have a bloody massacre.
Yeah, literally, and any bird's gonna land in that.
So what about this? What if you had
I say
a dozen
green
green
wings and coots.
Exactly.
A dozen green wings, 4 shovelers.
Okay.
So I'm up to what, 16?
But you said you can only buy
16.
You can only say
And then I'm gonna buy a 4-pack of pintails and a 4-pack of mallards.
they don't sell them in
Tell me how you
4-packs, though.
buy forecast packs. You just told them Talon.
Yeah, you just said that they only sell them
Goofball.
half a dozen.
I go with a friend and we split them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah.
No, I mean, I know this goes against the grain of everybody. I truly, I don't care what anybody says. I guarantee you, if I had 2 dozen green wings and a 6-pack of coots, I could kill birds all season long. That's me. I could.
Yeah,
I know I
I'd say
could.
so.
Mallards or anything. Mark my words.
Well,
I'd do it. You dare me, I'll do it this whole season.
All right, that's all you get. I'll take
I
all
got
your other
and
ones,
I got
okay?
it too. I got 2
I'll
dozen.
borrow all your other decoys and you can
No.
just, we'll leave you your
I'll
green
sell them
wings,
to you.
your green wings and your
I'll do it on a hunt. I'll do it on multiple hunts
Yeah,
this
I'd
year.
say
I'll have it all on
Yeah,
video.
you have to do it on a hunt.
You know we do. We
Yeah.
go out there in a junior pond, put those out. We're killing every variety of bird.
Well, think about it. When we found those mallard spots, we just threw mallards out and we were shooting everything, pintail, shoveler. So I'd say green wings would work just as good as mallards.
It's probably your awesome calling though.
Oh yeah, sure.
You talking about you? I'm sure. No,
no.
Talon.
Oh, I had some good hunts without you. We had
I know
some-
you did.
yeah,
You and Colton racked them up.
we did. We had some good hunts for sure.
Yeah. Me and Talon had some stellar hunts. But anyways, all right. So
do you have
got them?
What's the next topic? As
Next-
far as decoys go.
Next one is motion.
Motion.
And don't jump. Let's not jump ahead to like the other stuff. Just motion. Well, I guess they're called kind of motion. How should we do that? Let's go jerk rig systems in the water. Decoys in the water with the jerk rig setups.
I like it. I mean, I used to just take decoy cord and I would tie 2 or 3 of them to it, but it was never I wouldn't say effective. It was effective,
Mm-hmm.
but it was always something I had to adjust all the time. They'd come
Yeah.
untangled, or one of them was moving good and the other ones weren't moving. And then I'd worry about, if you're out in shallow water, can they see that cord being jerked
Right,
around? And different things like that.
I always still think that.
Oh, I do too.
I'm
But
wondering,
I do like that system that you guys used last year. I think that I'm saying that cord's very thin and not quite so visible as
it's paper thin.
Yes, what I was using.
Yeah.
Well, that's like on decoys. You don't like that mono string to tie off your decoys. You just,
Monofilament.
Oh, I hate that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Well,
That might make some people.
the stuff that looks like fishing line.
Yeah.
That color,
Just clear.
the clear. Yeah. I
And
don't
it
like
float
the
and it
clear.
floats to
And
the
it
top.
floats to the top.
Yeah. Well, I say floats top. There is ways that you could adjust it to where it wasn't doing that, but the way the rigs we set up, it was not like that because we weren't doing Texas rig.
Yeah.
Texas rig is supposed to eliminate that, but only reason I do like Texas rig.
yeah.
Only thing is with Texas rig, I just don't feel like it's good for my style because usually those are longer rig setups, and I know you could shorten them, but then if you shorten them, then you can't hunt deeper water. But a lot of places we hunt are shallower water.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, you could use it either way. I know that. I'm not trying to say you can't.
I think our biggest factor is wind. You know what I'm saying with the setup,
Yeah.
making sure you have enough weight because you remember that one.
Yeah.
that one hunt,
We've lost a lot.
The wind, man, it just.
Well, we end up finding them, but we lost.
Yeah,
a
I
few
mean, it took a
decoys.
lot of them.
Well, yeah,
struggle
because it was
across
only
the
we only
pond.
had what 3 ounce or 4 ounce.
Yeah. Really
Some guys are
lightweight.
using 6 and 7 ounce. But yeah, I mean, motion in that's what I really liked. And I'm not just trying to do sales pitch for motion ducks, but I mean, just that motion in the water. They don't move in a perfect straight line that does not look realistic. They all kind of move their own way.
Mhm.
That's what makes it look so real, especially when I've seen it from the drone. You're looking down on it, it's like, dude,
Yeah, it looks good.
it really looks real.
Yeah.
And
I
we've
know you
had
could-
so
you
many
can
birds
adapt,
suck into it.
multiple ones to that. But I think even if you had 2 separate ones, you know what I'm saying? You have 2 different people
yeah.
using it. I mean,
And if you want, what you could do, and we'll work with that this year, but I'll tell you right now, if we got glass water, there's no wind, I'm not going to put on a 4 decoy on that jerk system for motion ducks and then put 8 or 9 or 10 stagnant decoys because you're just totally defeating your purpose.
yeah. But if you had in the middle of them,
But I'm saying if we want more decoys and we want to make it look like a bigger spread, then yes, you need it, but you got to put them closer so those ripples move those
yeah,
too.
affect the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
But yeah.
Yeah.
You can go as big as you want, or like you said, you can have 2 guys running it in 2 different areas. That's really going to help.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool things I've seen that, you know what I'm saying, you could try with motion.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
People kick the water.
Yeah.
I've done it. I've sit there and thrashed my leg in the water when birds are way out to create that ripple, and then when they get close, you stop.
And the water looks muddy, like there's something actually moving around in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing I've heard guys say too, and I truly do believe in that. When ducks are feeding, they kind of creates that little bit of a muddy look, especially from above. So it doesn't hurt nothing to walk out every once in a while through the decoys and muddy that water up.
Kick it around.
I mean, it doesn't really look that natural if it's crystal clear because you haven't touched it in 3 hours.
Yeah, looks like glass if there's no wind.
And you can see right through the bottom.
Yep.
All right, next one, spinning wings.
So what are you asking? Do I like them? Dislike them?
Yeah. What's your opinion on it? How effective do you think they are?
I've used one, and it was crazy. Maybe I'm using it wrong. I don't know. I've seen instances where people use them, and it seems like the birds suck in right there, on top of them. I've never had much luck with a spinning wing, to be honest with you.
Okay, Talon, remember that hunt with me, you,
and Poppy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I had the extension poles. We were in that one pond that the tules were super high over our heads.
Yes.
And I put those extension poles that brought that little green winged spinner above the tules. And remember how many it was insane.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously the migration started.
Yeah, but it was a crazy number of birds.
And they were sucking to that thing.
Yeah. I think
we were having flocks of 30 come dump in our spread. And then we had that big flock of cinnamons.
Yes, I remember.
And was I the only one that got one, or did you get one too?
I don't remember what happened right there exactly. I just remember you saying cinnamons, and then you started shooting, and then I started shooting. I don't think I hit anything. And then I don't think Poppy shot. I think he just kind of was like, yeah. I think he was just
because you're like, oh, it's another dill of till. Oh my goodness, it's cinnamons, and they're already like scooping out of there. You know, yep. I was glad I even shot though. But they're moving so fast. But man, they were dumping into that.
Yes.
They would work areas like a long ways away from us, and it was like they would see that thing because it was above.
Okay.
Instead of down right on the water like most people do, because where we're at, there's no way they're going to see it unless they're right above it.
Yeah.
And they seen that thing and they were coming right into it. But to me, it seems like till, it really works good on till.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've noticed.
So if you're in a till area, I would say definitely. And I'm not saying it doesn't work for mallards and stuff too, but mallards are so smart. They're smart, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For mallards, I like a jerk rig, or I told you what I did before when I modified that one mallard and put that Primo's decoy heart in there, which they don't make it anymore. Mm-hmm. Just put a little bit of ripple on the water.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was a game changer.
That thing was effective, but it was weird because I'd use one and it worked great. I was like, oh well, if one works great, three's got to be better. Three didn't. I mean, it's like it flared them. Yeah, it was weird. Just that.
Did you only have one decoy out?
No, I had.
I think we had 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and just had one.
I remember that. Yeah.
That little decoy heart in there,
mm-hmm.
and we killed several times. We killed for California. You know what I'm saying, when you can go out and kill, 10 plus mallards. To me, that's an awesome hunt in California for mallards, and we did that a couple times.
Well, where we're
effectively.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just looking at the picture of you and Colton holding all those mallards up, and I was like, ugh. I told Tom, I was like, we used to take pictures like this quite a bit. I mean, not like some of these guys, whatever.
But it was often though.
Just I mean, because I know on the Butte Sink and stuff, they're whack mallards a lot. But I'm just saying, where we're out there here, it just doesn't seem like abundance of them. Do you think?
I don't know. If there's guys killing them, they must be keeping kind of quiet about it.
Oh, I would.
Yeah, that's when they really advertise.
All right, let's move on to swimmers, which that's kind of like what you were saying, but those are kind of newer. Those haven't been around a long time. The actual they swim through the water. They're usually attached to the bottom, an anchor.
But maybe longer than you think, because I remember there was a guy that had some, and
they were outrageous though.
Probably, and they were not. I mean, he had a monster spread. It was a permanent spread. And he had
all of them were swimmers.
No, he had like 5 or 6 pintails, and they were just like racehorses swimming in circles, and they killed birds over them. Yeah. And that was probably back in the 90s. So, but I don't know. But it's like they went away for a while. I don't even know where they got them from. I didn't see them for a while, and then Mojo came out with the spinning wings, and that kind of where the craze started with motion again.
I talked to several people when those Mojos first came out. When they first came out the first year, they said it was
unfair.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that.
They said it was stupid. Any and everywhere.
And they probably could have used them early season too, probably. Huh?
Yeah, guarantee they did. That's probably why they put the restriction on us like they did, because it was just too ridiculous. And see, that's the thing. To me, that's when they would work the best for us. But we're not even allowed to use them till December.
Yeah. Is it like that
No.
for every state? It's just
No.
California?
I don't know. Guys, if it's like that, you have restrictions on your mojos, join our Facebook page, the MVM Show podcast group page. You can comment on there. If you're not on there, let us know if your state has restrictions on that. California, we can't use them till first part of December. But no, Nebraska, right off the bat, right out the gate, early till, they're using them.
Mm-hmm.
And they work. And I think that's why other states say, oh, these really work, because they're using them early. Whereas we can't.
The first birds coming down.
The first birds that are seeing it, you know what I'm saying, for the first part of the season.
Yeah, they haven't been shot at really.
So yeah, I'm with you. They'd work. And they work too. I probably always, people think we don't like spinning wings, but I like them. It's just
certain times.
Yeah, cloudy, overcast days.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. They just notice more things, period.
Yeah.
You know that.
You stand out more.
Yeah, you stick out more. Nobody really likes an overcast day for duck hunting.
Unless it's psycho windy.
Yeah, unless it's super windy.
Yeah.
North wind. Well, we kind of talked about that jerk string.
What do you think about those ones where the bubbles up behind their hind end? Have you seen those?
I've thought about getting one, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's movement.
And two, you can use that earlier in the season because it's not a spinning wing. You know what I'm saying? To create motion.
Yeah.
And you're not having to jerk it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, was it like not a butt rippler, but I've seen something that look like
it shoots
two
out
hoses coming out of the back and throws water around and stuff.
Splashes. It looks like they're kicking in the water. I think it would work.
Yeah.
I know, and every year I say I'm going to buy some of these things, and I never end up doing it.
Yeah.
And I know they would work, but to me, on a jerk string, I don't feel like they can learn that, because a swimming bird's a swimming bird.
Yeah, I don't think it's something they can pick up and think, oh, that's fake.
That one's fake. Yeah. It's moving, it's swimming around. How could it,
Yeah.
Whereas, like I said, a mojo, it's just a constant spinning wing. I know you can get the kind that turn on and off. That probably helps, actually. That might be something. But that's just, to me, one more thing I got to grab and hit a button.
One more thing I can lose.
I got my dog whistle, my duck calls, my button for this. It's like, dude.
And you're trying to hold on to your shotgun at the same time.
Yeah, and your shotgun.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. I think they have them that are they come on in a certain amount of, intermittent.
Yeah.
That might help. But I don't know. Like I said, some of the other things, to me, seems like the birds could figure them out more. Whereas the jerk system, which, again, your hand's being used again.
Yeah.
So you got to either put the call down or the gun down.
Yeah, and then you're coming back to the thing. You got to realize where that line is at, so you don't get hung up in it and that sort of thing. Or you pull up to shoot.
I would say that would be the cons of
and you pull up to shoot and then you let go of the handle
and then can't find it.
And then you're like, where'd my handle go?
Which it does float, but we always paint. They're always black, so it's hard to find.
Yeah,
probably should paint a different color to find it easier. But
a little bright orange on it.
Yeah, or something. But yeah, I would say that was definitely be the con, because you can't just say it's all perfect with the jerk rig. There's definitely some cons, and I would say that's the biggest one. I've ran through those things in con.
Yeah.
Almost.
Or you're trying to go through the toolies because you're trying to hide the toolies.
And then when you pull it, you're moving the toolies.
And then you're moving the toolies. Yeah, that's the only I guess drawback to it would be. But they've been used for years, you know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing, there's a way to use this, and I just maybe could help somebody out that's never used them and says they're going to use them this year. I know a lot of people bought those and have never used them. Here'd be a tip. If you've never used a jerk rig system, what I like to do is when the birds are out, let's say I'm just going to make a number up, let's a couple 100 yards or whatever, and they're flying around, you're calling at them and you're hitting that jerk rig. You created that ripple, and if those birds are coming on a rope to you, that ripple in the water is going to last for 10, 20 seconds, 25. By that time, a lot of times the birds are probably pretty close to you now, maybe close to shooting them. So you don't. I just watch what the birds do, okay? Because when they get within a certain range, I'm not going to do it no more, because then now I'm making movement with my arms. And like you said, if it's running through the decoy or through the toolies, you're moving that too. So what I do is try to get maybe thrash it a little bit to really create a lot, and then hang it up and get my hands free to be ready to shoot.
Yeah. And two, sometimes, I mean, if you're hunting solo, I mean, that's kind of hard too, because you're pulling the jerk string, you're trying to call, and then what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where's your shotgun?
Yeah.
And then you're trying to, let me drop this, grab this, and do that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So that's why I hunt with somebody else, That's what was nice when Talon was so young. Maybe we could just be the dedicated jerker.
I know, I did. I don't know how many times I've done that.
Like, pull it.
Talon, pull it. Yeah.
Stop. No. Now, he just like,
Tweaking.
You know how he gets when he starts tweaking.
do.
Well, I'm trying to read the birds and, okay, pull, don't pull.
You know what's been nice, though, is making him do stuff now, too,
I know.
Like we went on a hunt and he was the one pulling it. Travis, pull. I am. Revenge is sweet, sir. Yeah, no, it definitely makes a difference. And placement on decoys. Do you really think that matters? A lot of people really.
I know you call them bird diverters occasionally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's probably true to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen decoys work. But of course, I've never really seen
No,
birds land in the decoys.
Not necessarily decoys. I'm talking about placement of them.
Placement.
Yeah, I mean,
I know.
Well, that's the thing
work.
too. Like if you could place them over here to try to get the birds to come over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In a diversion maneuver, I guess.
But then again, you've seen them land in the decoys.
Well, yeah. I mean, like when we used to hunt a particular place and we had mallards out there, and you kind of leave an opening for them, and the birds would come and suck in right there.
Right.
Sometimes they'd land, short or whatever, for whatever reason. But I think placement's huge.
Well, I'm talking about like a J or this.
Yeah,
or some guys are real stuck on that. I think that's kind of leaving the industry. I don't think people talk about that as much anymore.
It probably depends on the species and what type of pond you're hunting,
or maybe like
family groups.
diving
you know what
ducks.
I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, because I don't think that probably the way they hunt sea ducks has changed too much. You know what I'm saying? They put them on the lines and things like that.
Divers.
But
those diver guys, they just string them out in straight lines, and it
Yeah.
works like money. When we were in Wisconsin, they were in straight lines, man, like 4 straight lines of decoys. They were landing in them.
right there.
In them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah. And I kind of like hop back and forth, I think. You know what I'm saying? Just on
well,
different things
it's
to
always a
try.
test, though.
Yeah.
It's always a test. How's this going to work, you know?
And I'm always moving.
You're always moving them
I'm always-
closer, further.
Yeah, if I shoot a bird and it drops down, you know what I'm saying? And like, oh, I didn't like what they did here. I'll make adjustments during the hunt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
throw a few more
always,
over here.
always, the pintails are always like an extra 30 yards in front of us for some reason. Now, do you think
I know why you're
think
doing
that
that because
matters?
of
Deeper water, more open water.
more open one. I know that's why
Yeah.
you're doing that. But
I've just seen it seems like pintails want to land in the more open water. Unless it's on the junior hunt, then they just want to
Then it
come right
don't
over
matter,
here.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
That's totally different.
But-
But you know what? Okay, so I've heard this thing. There's a reason why. My mind was triggered by this topic. We might have a guest later on from now, a couple months from now, that really had a lot of good points they brought up. But one of the things it's talking about clumping birds. So I've seen guys clump birds, I would say really tight,
Mhm.
and they say that's better than spreading them way out. And I thought, you know what? I think they're kind of right about that because I've caught myself a lot spreading them out kind of.
Yeah.
I think they might be on to something that is a little bit better. Putting them tighter in together.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. What do you think about that?
What do you think? Is it in scenarios where you're hunting with 2 or 3 people? Because we've hunted some ponds and we've had 6 or 7 guys hunting,
Which is way too much.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there, I have a tendency to spread the decoys out more if there's more people versus getting them close. But
So you're saying just to help
it'd be
get the
interesting
birds
to
in the
try.
spot.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be interesting to try to clump them up.
just one more thing for us.
To me, like when you see a lot of birds like clumped up really close, to me it's like they're scared.
Or it's windy or something.
You know what I'm saying? I always think that they're scared because when they get ready to fly, they'll all kind of like move, to a central location, and then like they kind of like
Or
get
there's
in their
feed there.
groups, and then they're like boom, they'll all bust out.
Yeah. Or there's feed there though too.
Yeah,
But like when you go out to the wildlife area to check them out, the birds are tight together. You don't see them spread way out apart from each other, though, usually, do you? I mean, I
And
know,
you brought up a good point there. That's a good place to go watch patterns of birds.
yeah,
Yeah.
how they are.
Go to those refuges or that you
but
can.
when you got tons of birds out there, you know what I'm saying? It looks like
Yeah.
the whole thing is birds.
Yeah. But I agree with you. They're tighter. They're clumped
Yeah.
up more, in my opinion, too.
I'd say they're more closer.
But Because so what one guy was saying is, if birds, and it's all bird dependent. So when the bird comes around, we've done this so many times. We always do. If you have any half a brain duck hunting, if something is not working the way you have your decoys, you do need to move them. I know we've always harassed you about it, but I mean, something's got to change. If you have 3 sets of birds come in and they're flaring in the same spot, something's wrong. Ain't right.
Something doesn't look right to them.
So what I know guys we're talking about doing is bring the decoys really tight to you and clumping them. If that doesn't work, they're talking about moving them out to where almost to the point where you're like, why would you do that? Because obviously you want the birds coming in shooting range. But if they're flaring, they keep flaring at 50 and 60 yards, like not flaring necessarily, but like banking and turning. They were bringing up a point, and I thought, that's not a bad idea. It'd be worth a try. Moving them out there where those birds are banking at. And he said he's seen them come in between where you're shooting and those decoys and come in between. And I thought it'd be worth a try.
Yeah.
They might flare farther out even more.
Yeah.
Or they would come in between.
Have you ever here's another instance too, taken the decoys and moved where the decoys are actually, you're hunting in front of you and the decoys are behind you.
Yeah.
You know,
I've had it work great.
I've even done that. You know, if it's like, okay, they want to flare there, I'm gonna go over to this two-leaf clump over here.
Yeah.
They can still see those birds over there to attract them.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be this much closer to take shots at them before they decide to.
And that's
flare.
like one hunt we were on. I was hunting with Johnny, and we usually when you're set up in the tulies, the mallards are closer to you. We set up like you said on the other side where the pintails were at. And those birds went in between us and the pintails. So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's just whatever the birds are doing pretty much.
Yeah. You know, to me, you just never know until...
Every hunt's different. Every situation.
You don't know until you see your first pair of birds.
Yeah.
Unless you've patterned them.
True.
Then you know what they're doing. And I've had that's what we did. I know it was a pass shooting thing, but with those honkers, we knew exactly what they were doing.
Where they're going to be at.
They're crossing.
Yeah. And certain refuges, you notice birds tend to work in certain, I guess you'd say,
they always do the
flight
same
lines.
Yeah, they always do the same flight
line. They come
line.
from the same direction.
Yeah.
And they kind of follow flight lines. And I think that's just, learning a refuge and kind of seeing where the birds are at and where they want to go.
Yep. Yeah. Can you kill birds without decoys?
My uncle, hunted for years and never owned a decoy, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah. And he I don't know how many birds he killed. I mean, I was a kid, but I know he killed birds. He'd go to refuges and just basically, I don't even think he owned a pair of waders. I think he would just stay on the bank and get somewhere where there's tulies, you know what I'm saying, and birds were moving. And I know he killed birds, and I don't know if things have changed. We talked about birds adapting to motion decoys, and now you got these high vis decoys that look so real, and I just wonder how that's changed how birds react and how they've adapted to that. I don't know.
Yeah, I know we've done it before. We've left our decoys behind because these birds were skirting the same spot every single time, and ran over there without 150 yards away. Ran over there without any decoys and limited out.
Yeah, killed birds. Just because they wanted to be there.
But the big problem with people, they always want to say is, oh, they weren't landing. You're past shooting them. I don't. It's fun shooting it bird decoying. It's blast. It's fun shooting when they're flying by at 20 yards. What's the difference? Why is that always such a big fight in the industry?
I think it's an area where they're hunting. I think people that hunt in California, that hunt public refuges, are going to understand pass shooting and that type of hunting more than somebody that was hunting, a private duck club.
Yeah.
Or I just think that we get a lot more pressure than a lot of areas.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying, what is that? Why is that such a big problem in the industry to really harp on people about that?
Pass shooting?
Does it, if you kill the bird,
maybe they think you're not as
skilled
of a duck hunter because their feet aren't down landing in your decoys.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We go out on a junior hunt and the birds are all over you because they're not being pressured. They're not being shot at.
It's like it should be.
Yeah. And, and we both know, you've seen people out there shooting at birds. You know what I'm saying? Like, no way they're even going to hit that thing, you know?
Right.
And like, those birds are educated. They've been shot at. So they're going to be that much more wary to come in to a decoy spread and actually land.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even see them landing with big rafts of coots then. You don't
No,
see
they
them.
don't land, period. They get out of there.
They're yeah.
Yeah.
I would say probably at our refuges during the peak of season, 95% of the birds that are shot are pass shooting birds.
Yeah. And we accept that. Doesn't mean we like it. It's just that's just part of the game.
Nature of the beast.
It really is the nature of the beast. And that's what's been nice to go out of state on these other places because it's so different. And I'm not saying they have it easier than we do because I don't like that. Because we do very well for what we have to deal with. But it's like, man, it is nice. It is nice shooting them decoying. And we have shot them decoying in the refuge. But like you said, the percentage of decoying versus pass shooting, is not the same. When we say decoying, we're talking about decoys.
Yeah.
But the moment that you see in their eyes, oh, they're going to land, they get that look, boom, boom, across the refuge. They don't care how good your spread looks at decoys.
Like, it's like,
curse you.
I'm like, I should have shot. That last pass I should have shot because I would have got.
How many times have we said that?
Yeah.
Many of times.
But it was a pass shot, so we wanted to let them spin one more time, hoping they land, and then boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Yeah, it could get very frustrating. I mean, it's not. We're not throwing a pity party. That's why our style is the way it is. I mean, most people out here, the style is the way it is.
Yeah.
Gotta do what you gotta do. But you sure don't gotta shoot them over 40 yards like people do. Like you said, they're educating them way up in Timbuktu.
Yeah.
And
sometimes you'll see them drop one bird, but they never drop more than one bird.
Right. They may shoot at 10 different volleys and get one out of.
Yeah, they'll shoot 3 shots, and the other guy shoots 3 shots, and the other guy shoots 3 shots, and
boom, boom,
and
boom,
one
boom.
bird, falls, and you're like, oh, they hit that one.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, it's crazy. But nature of the beast, and it's fun. It's fun when they decoy, but you gotta
do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta take care of the business. So, all right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap that up today. Hopefully, we gave some. I don't know. Did we give any advice in there? I think we did a little bit. Just threw some things out there. I don't know.
Just thoughts that run through your mind.
Some thoughts that I think could help some people, and just talking through some things to get better. The goal is always to get better and be a better hunter and
enjoy it more. And
every year go out and learn from it and be better. And I think there's never a day going to go by in duck hunting that we're not learning. Do you?
No, because sometimes I've went out there and killed absolutely nothing. I'm like, okay, what was the factors that I didn't kill anything? And like, okay, so when the situation's like that again, am I going to spend that time and resources to go out there and, if I'm going to get the same result, do I really want to do that again?
Right.
So, yeah, but I always enjoy my time out in the field.
Yeah, tell me about it. I can't wait. We got, for everyone listening to this, if you didn't have it here on the past episodes, we are going to do our dead level best to do a weekly hunt update and try to cover, whatever days we hunt for the prior week, the next week. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Let us know. Leave a review if you can. Give us 5 stars. We appreciate that. We're going to do a giveaway at 100 what's called ratings on iTunes. If you can rate it on iTunes, we're I think at 81 right now. Once we hit 100 ratings on iTunes, 105 stars, we're going to do a little bit of giveaway. I'll keep that under wraps for right now, but it's going to be good. It's going to be worth it. And it's just for our podcast listeners. So we really do appreciate you guys for tuning in every single week. We try to drop them every Tuesday or Wednesday and then one on Friday. And then we got the weekly hunt updates coming this season. 13 days till duck season.
I think 12 more days.
12 days?
12 days.
Going to be hammer time. Yeah, 12 days. So, 12 days. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.